What's up, everybody? I'm Kyle Carlson, and this is the Rollback BMX Podcast, the #1 BMX podcast in the universe, according to me. We are in China, and today's guest is Nick Bruce. Nick Bruce is currently leading the points in the overall Feast series, which will conclude this weekend, and I figured it made sense to pick his brain and see where he's at. Sit back, listen up, and prepare to hear from one of the most muscular men in all of BMX. This is the Rollback BMX Podcast with Nick Bruce. Yeah, we're good. So we're in China. So I was in Las Vegas before I flew out here. And I had all my podcasting stuff in my house in San Diego. So I drove to Vegas to hang out with my family. And literally, I didn't even notice it wasn't in Vegas until I flew out of Vegas to come here. So I didn't realize it wasn't there until I went to get on the plane. I was like packing all my stuff. And I'm like, oh, man, well, it's too late to change that.
Yeah.
So we're sitting here with the new mystery method of recording, using a video camera to record some audio. So it sounds like shit. Sorry, but I think it's kind of appropriate for China.
Yeah, you know, just full-on China vibes around.
So, you're a homeowner. You are...
Solo session rider.
I can't believe you do that, man.
Does it seem
I don't
unorthodox?
know. I guess it's just the type of person you are, though. Because, like, when you go to the gym and stuff, you have your coaches, but it's just you. You don't have a buddy that goes to the gym, right?
No.
Are you the type of person, like, when you go to a restaurant alone? No, I don't think that's a bad thing, but I think it's...
No, I eat a lot of... Yeah, a lot of people are like, I mean, yeah, honestly, like, I always go to the restaurant alone.
Sit down and get waited on alone.
Waited on everything, yeah.
And have you always been that way?
I think at times it was uncomfortable, but like this whole year, like, no, I'm going to go eat and I want to enjoy a meal. Like, I don't mind if I'm alone or whatever.
Do you enjoy the alone time? Or is it just you don't like to rely on other people?
A little bit of both.
Yeah?
Because, I do invite friends to lunch, but everyone's occupied. Like, I have a pretty different schedule than the 9-to-5ers.
Yeah,
so true. So I can't expect anything, but I'm like, well, I mean, no one's around to go get lunch, so I'm going to go alone. But I do value my alone time for sure. I
wish I was more like that. I'll do it on the road. Like, if I'm on the road, I feel like it's okay to go eat alone, but when I'm home, I go get food and take it home.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff like that, but like... I don't know. I think what you're doing is the right way.
Because it's... I don't know. It's entertaining still. Like, you get to just sit in the restaurant and watch everyone flow by.
Well, and this day and age, find a conversation, or you always have a phone in your pocket or something you can read. You can listen to a podcast. Right. You can listen to a book. You still listen to a lot of books?
Listen to a lot of books, podcasts, read a lot.
What are you cycling right now, podcast, book-wise? Anything in the recent times that's kind of gotten your brain twisted?
Reading this book right now. Oh, there's a couple books
that are standing out as exceptionally good.
Yeah, I mean, did you want me to?
Yeah, fucking hit it. Yeah.
Well, just to give some context,
is it weird hippie shit?
Maybe. It's definitely some weird stuff, but no, this Jamie Anderson, the gold medalist Olympics snowboarder,
Jamie Bestwick,
and.
No, I don't know who that is.
Oh, well, she's like a badass. I've always looked up to her.
She hot?
She's hot.
Nice.
She dates a rock star snowboarder.
Really? Which guy?
Tyler Nicholson.
I don't know why I asked.
I don't know.
I know one snowboarder and it's Shaun White, so it wasn't Shaun White.
But no, I asked... I mean, I reached out to her like through a mutual friend, and like I was just curious like what she does, because she gets results and... She just seems like a down-to-earth, like, super...
She's American?
Yeah, she's a super cool chick. And, like, I've always looked up to her for, like, years. Because she's just a badass lady in person. But I was like, I wonder what the hell she does. And she just does similar stuff that I do, like yoga, meditation stuff. And then I was like, oh, what books do you read? And yada, yada. And then she recommended this book that I really loved. It's called Love What Is.
Okay.
And it's just, like, constantly you're, like any like thought that comes into your brain, like that, like, or if anyone makes you mad, or like anything, like when you're not feeling like up to, like if you just feel like shit, I guess you just sit there and question it with these like 4 questions that the author tells you to do.
Can you tell us what those are, or does that spoil the book?
It doesn't spoil it, because the book's like, it just shows like a lot of good examples of using this question.
So what are these big 4 questions?
The big 4 questions. So it's like, the first one is it true? And the second one is, can you absolutely know it's true? And the third one's, how do you react when you believe that thought? And the fourth one is, who would you be without that thought? And I mean, it constantly comes up. Like after reading it, I was like, man, I mean, I've always kind of done that because that's what kind of yoga and meditation teaches you. But with riding, like it kept presenting itself like, oh fuck, this transfer is scary as shit. Are you gonna like? But I'm like, is it really scary? I mean, you've done many transfers like this, or you've done this trick before, and like you just inquire like these few questions, and then you're like, well, how do I react when I'm afraid of this trick? Well, I'm not doing it. I'm sitting here and not dropping in. And then who would I be without this thought? Then I'm like, oh, I'd just be doing the trick. And the next minute I'm doing whatever the hell I want. Not literally whatever the hell I want, but you're a lot further than sitting there on the deck. Is it kind of just
compartmentalizing your thoughts?
Yeah. In a healthy way to where you're not like just caught in those thoughts of like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. I can't do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you do yoga regularly?
Yeah, a few times a week.
Do you do it on your own or do you go to a class?
I go to a studio and sometimes at home.
You do the hot stuff or do you do... A
little bit of both. I mean, I do a lot of restorative stuff just because I get all my power stuff like through riding and the gym. So I need that balance of like, no, you need to take a slow class and like just stretch out these muscles.
It's kind of almost a mental thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, gotcha.
Just to slow down and recoup and just absorb everything you did the last few days.
How long ago did you kind of get into mental shit, spiritual shit?
2015.
So pretty recent.
Yeah, like
what prompted that?
Honestly, Jamie Bestwick.
Really?
Because I was like, man, this dude's killing it, and he's just unbelievable. But you know,
basically a 50-year-old man who's still the best at what he does,
exactly,
and successful outside of that.
Yeah, and he's just like, I just do yoga. Well, I remember asking him in like 2014. He's like, yeah, I just do yoga. I'm like, all right. And then at the time I was going to college, and I was trying out yoga classes there. And it was just like a stretch, like workout deal. And then I started going to like actual proper studios where these teachers would teach, like, just do proper stuff. Like as far as like they'll preach something to you, not preach, but just like share a little bit of wisdom that makes you really think. You're like, huh, that's really true. And then you just get caught like wanting to go more. And then like towards the end of 2015, like I had a like end to a relationship that was pretty difficult.
The fat girl.
She wasn't fat. But I think that like kind of like pushed me into like more self-exploration road, I guess.
Yeah. And you saw results pretty quickly after you kind of started focusing on this stuff?
Oh, yeah. Like, I truly believe your inner world is a mirror of your outer world. Yeah. I'm like...
Are you high?
A little bit.
Nice. Nice.
I'm always high.
Yeah. You should probably specify that you're not for people that don't know you.
No, I'm not high.
Do you ever... I mean, a lot of people that are into the spiritual stuff are doing some crazy drugs. You ever have a desire to do that? Some DMT, some mushrooms?
Never had a desire to explore that world.
You see, you're an odd sort because you're sound and into all this stuff, but you're also Mr. Go to the Gym, Mr. Badass Athlete. You're kind of no, I don't mean that in a bad way. That's a good way. I think you have the right combination and obviously you're showing success for it.
Thank you.
I mean, is there anything you need to change to stay on this path? I mean, right? Okay, let's fast forward a little bit. Is your main focus right now with the Olympic stuff?
Yeah.
Is that? I know you grow up wanting to win the X Games gold, and you want to do all this stuff. Right now, has the Olympics kind of taken that place as the biggest pedestal for you, or?
I don't know if it's necessarily the biggest pedestal.
Yeah.
But I mean, the fact that it's in the talks or that it's within reach.
Well, and you're accidentally thrown into the mix is kind of like the guy or one of the guys.
Right.
If it was today, you would be the guy there for the United States.
Which is gnarly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. Like, it's just badass that it's... Because even, dude, not even last summer, we didn't even know that was even possible.
And now it's changed everybody's life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's just... That's what I keep thinking about. Like, the fact that I have, like, health insurance through USA Cycling.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, they took care of my collarbone injury. And the fact that you see all these countries getting all these riders to these UCI events all over the world.
Well, January, you'll be making a salary too, right?
yeah, as long as
you don't blow it.
Yeah. As long as I keep doing what I'm doing, I suppose. But no, I mean, it's just changing. It's changing the sport. Because I was talking to Bestwick about this last night. It's just like, dude, it provides a whole different opportunity, like the treatment we get like as an athlete. Like that has been completely unheard of in the sport of BMX freestyle.
100%.
Like maybe Red Bull athletes get it, but like, dude, crashed at X Games 4 days later in surgery. All taken care of.
And I'm sure it's great doctors, too. I'm sure it's doctors. Yeah, it's not just the random local hospital. I'm sure it's sport doctors.
Yes. So it was just mind-boggling. Like, if that's what being in the Olympics can bring BMX freestyle, that's amazing. Like, we're getting the opportunity to be completely supported in completely different ways than what we're used to, more than just a paycheck.
Yeah. But I guess on the alternate side of that, this is the first time in BMX ever there's been support like that if you don't have good results, you're going to get chopped.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a problem with that. I think that's the way it goes.
I think that's life, truthfully.
I agree.
Because, I mean, if you're not... I mean, life will treat you... I mean, it's all about on the results you're giving yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Like...
No, I just think it's...
But, yeah, I mean, it is cutthroat. Like, okay, you didn't podium that week. You're off the team.
I don't think it's that crazy, but I think it's... couple in a row. Like, you look at a kid like Colton Walker, who this year had a shitty year, and Colton's incredible. But at the feast events this year, there's only been 3, and he had shit luck at all of them. And, like, He's still one of the best guys in the world. He could win both events that we're in China for right now, and it wouldn't be a shock to any of us.
Right.
Would be like, yeah, Colton's one of the best. But I think, based on their standards, I think he would have been cut.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's a... I guess it's nice, too, that you can get cut, but you can earn your way back.
That was the difficult thing, because even the USA cycling meeting that we had in Colorado, the whole initial announcement thing, it was kind of crazy, like how results, they kept like pushing that on us.
Yeah.
I was like, man, should be the, it felt like they were focused on like all results and not like, not on the process.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's really just like, yeah, I could think about like being number 1 all damn day, but if I'm not doing the things to get there, I'm not going to get there.
Yeah.
Like you got to really not focus too much.
You got to start at the bottom of the ladder and climb to the top.
Yeah, and it felt like the opposite. Yeah. And then you could see. I mean, I don't think I'm the only one that's seen it. Like Colton isn't the only rider not the only amazing rider that's always done well at all these events. And then all of a sudden, this Olympic stuff comes around.
You're right.
Him.
Alex Colborn.
A lot of guys.
Yeah.
You just see, like, making, like, weird...
And they're not riding worse. It's just it's a mental thing.
100%.
Or it's just the luck of the draw. I mean, we only get out there so many times. It takes an incredible person to stay on top consistently. A person like Logan Martin. A person like, when you're on. But, I mean, it's not rare for you to get a shitty result once or twice a year.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, can you overcome that? Hopefully.
Yeah, for sure. It's... But that's, like, just looking at the bigger picture, you're like, holy shit, like, a lot of guys are, you just see them doing, like, uncharacteristic things this year. And the only thing that changed was you're on the Olympic team or whatever.
So do you think it's weighing on him mentally, or do you think it's just...
It puts on a lot of different pressures because,
I
mean, for even just the short meeting that we had in Colorado, those people... driving in those results, I can't imagine what the other teams have to, or what they're telling.
Yeah.
Because especially like, I mean, UK is a good example, I guess, because it's just like, no, you're wearing your tracksuit everywhere.
Yeah.
And we're only having team dinners. You stay with the team. Like that was kind of like, you get that vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's still friendly, but it's way different than what we're all used to.
It's weird because it's almost like saying this works for everybody.
Right.
And I think some guys like, how many X Games do you think Garrett Reynolds has won after getting fucking hammered the night before?
Yeah, it's very true.
Like, there's different guys out there. Even like Anderson's not shy about going out and getting some drinks the night before a big contest, and his results say that's okay.
Right.
It's weird when you try to say, this is the path.
Right.
And I wonder if that's going to change, if that's because it's new, because like I think for a guy like you, this organization, eating clean, all this stuff, I think fits what you do. Right.
That's just what I've always done, even before this stuff popped in.
But you're not everybody.
Right.
I don't know. It's a weird time.
It is interesting because, that has to be a part of it because I mean, all the other dudes are used to like, oh no, we're gonna go out late and then have fun, and then they still kill it the next day.
Yeah,
that works for them. But then no, their coach is saying like, no, man. But I mean, maybe that's just you have to be open to your coach. Like, no, like you have to understand. I've got these results in the past by not being in bed at 10 p.m. or who knows. I don't know what people do. No, everyone's different.
For sure. And I guess it's hard to say because...
But that's where you come in. Like, you know what works best for you. And these people want all these results from you. You have to freaking communicate that to them. Yeah. Like, you can't just abide to them because of what they want you to be.
Have they been open to everything you've talked to them about? I'm guessing they're not asking anything crazy of you because of the way you live.
I guess, yeah. But, no. They all trust. I mean, I feel like USA stuff's... They're honestly chill.
Pretty mellow.
Yeah, extremely.
Curious if that will change, but...
They get it. They are like, oh, well, this is still new to BMX freestyle. We can't just come into their world and change them.
See, that's
we have
a hard
to feel them out.
Like, there's a lot of that going on where it's like you look at some of these guys and where they're standing, and it's like, how am I going to come in and tell the third best guy in the world how he needs to compete?
Exactly.
You know, because the game of inches, when you're at the top there, anybody in that top 5 could win the overall. Even coming to this, there's probably more than 5 guys that could win the overall.
Right, exactly.
You know, yourself, Marin, Daniel Dares, Justin Dowell's probably up there. There's a lot of these guys, if they came in and won this event that's happening in a couple days, and then you blew it, like, they could win overall. So it's such a game of inches. It's so hard to lay that down. And it's just so crazy. It's so crazy that all this leads up to one fucking contest. One contest with 9 riders, one time, you know what I mean? We all fuck up. We all fuck up occasionally, you know? Everybody out there every one of those 9 guys has gone to an event, they planned to win, and just shit didn't work out, bike problems. Anything. Got windy during the run, just a simple slip up. Like, all of this leads to one fucking event.
Yeah, you can't build this one Olympic thing bigger than that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just another event, another opportunity. Yeah, it's a bigger platform. It's creating a lot of cool opportunities, but it's just another thing, you know?
Yeah. You can kind of look at it one of 2 ways. You look at it as here's one event, or you look at it as here's my life.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Do you feel any big pressure on it, or are you...
Honestly, I didn't think I did, but recently and just stuff, like being injured and stuff, like there's a lot of pressure that I realized, like, oh shit, I needed like maybe the downtime to like really see that.
Yeah. And
then just people not coming out of the woodwork, but just like local newspaper stuff.
Oh, they reaching out and trying to get stories and stuff.
Yeah. So just like, and just friends like getting overly excited, and I'm like, what the like I've been doing this my whole life, and now all of a sudden,
yeah,
and then I'm like, oh, it was just pressure that came out as anger and fear, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, there is some pressure that I was probably just brushing off to the side, like, it's nothing. But no, I guess it is pretty real.
Yeah,
like, it is.
It's one of those things I notice, and I'm sure you do as well. If you end up having to explain what you do to somebody that doesn't fully know, the minute you say it's in the Olympics, they look at it differently.
Completely different.
Which is weird, because even if it's like, it's in the Olympics, but then you try to explain like street riding to them, and it's like, huh?
Yeah.
It's just a real complicated game.
Right. It's just, I mean, that's part of it. Like, it's why it might be cool, just because people don't understand what BMX is.
Yeah.
It's not these mainstream sports that everyone knows about and everyone participates in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it's bringing more light to that, maybe people will be like, oh, there are like a million different avenues in this BMX world thing. Yeah,
it would be great if it could end up creating more skate parks.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't know how many parents out there would feel uncomfortable with their parents riding BMX. People like to say that. Oh, this is going to make parents feel comfortable with their kids riding BMX. I don't know how many parents are.
It's still scary. They're still, regardless, there's going to be a bunch of sketchy.
On top of that, I mean, are parents really like that? Like, I'm uncomfortable with my kid riding a bicycle? I don't know. Maybe so. People are fucking crazy these days. But I don't know, man.
It's all over the place.
Yeah. What do you think? You're staying happy through it?
Yeah, honestly. I mean, it's cool. It's exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's just another opportunity to friggin' keep this career going.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you plan on winning this overall thing at Feast?
I'm going for it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've been working hard. I mean, I honestly feel mentally well. Like, as far as... because I relieved like the pressure and stuff. Like worked through that. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some stuff that present itself these next couple of days, but
yeah,
I'm honestly looking forward to it.
People calling you to do a podcast before practice,
something like that. No, it's been cool. Like it's exciting.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, man. It's a crazy game out there, especially when a guy like you can go through a rough year and still come out on top. I think it's kind of a good story of perseverance and just staying true to your craft, as corny as that sounds. Is there, when you look at, you have this overall event and then there's the UCI World Championships, is one of those more important to you than the other?
No. They're honestly equal.
Yeah.
Because to me, at least, because it's still the same thing. Like from qualifying, semifinals, finals, it's still the same thing. You still have that 1 minute run to land all these tricks that you've been working your ass off and working your body off, working your body to build to be able to handle all that.
Yeah.
So it's still the same thing. It breaks down to that 1 minute run. Like it's not like, sure, there has different rewards and whatever, but it's like it all comes down to that run. Like, you know.
Do you consider yourself a pretty competitive person?
That's the hard part. No.
I don't see you as a competitive person, but I see you.
That's my problem.
The way you ride, though, seems like you are.
I know. I mean, I always said it. Like, I've been saying this for years. Like, I'm a fan first.
Yeah.
I don't know if that limits my competitive abilities.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
But truthfully, if I just know when I'm riding well is when I'm happiest, and when I'm happiest is when I'm just appreciating, like, that I'm riding with Ryan Nyquist, or that even Bestwick knows my name or something, you know?
Yeah.
Like that shit makes me happy. Like,
one thing that always drove me nuts about your riding, and I think you're getting better with it, is I felt like you'd be content when you were like third or fourth. I did great. I did this, and I'm like, no, dude, you got to go be bummed you're not winning because of the way you're riding. Especially when I look at like Olympic potential and you being the USA guy, you know, it's like I know you because I think you're psyched because you're like, I'm on the podium with these guys, or I made a podium or whatever.
Right, but you're like, no, you could be winning.
Yeah, I think you could be winning, and
I agree.
But I also think that speaks to your personality when you're like, I'm happy here. I worked hard and I'm near the top.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like you get what you put in, or everything you put in, or you know what I mean? You get what you put out.
Yeah.
Or how would you say that?
When you end up on like a third place on a podium, are you thinking at all about like, if I did blank, blank, and blank, I could have been at top? Or
that shit comes in for sure. It's just like, oh, I could have done this. Like,
yeah,
of course you have that mental battle, but it's like, is that really getting you anywhere?
I think it could if it's okay. So next time around, I know I can do this.
Yeah, but you don't have to sit there and dwell on it.
Oh, I didn't mean in a negative way at all.
No. But I mean, you can become negative about it.
Yeah, I'm sure people do.
Yeah, because you could just keep beating yourself up. I'd rather not punish myself like that, I guess.
Yeah. Just
like, no, I mean, I don't need that extra reassurance of someone telling me, like, you could have done something more. Like, no, I already know deep down, like, yeah, I could have fucking, who knows what else that I could have done. Like, I know what I could have done.
Yeah.
And I know what I could have done 3 weeks prior. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not going to learn a new trick.
Right.
It's just a matter of doing something different. Are you the type of guy, if you're sitting there ready to drop in for your run, and you're somewhere near that top spot, and the guy before you throws down hammers, nails a perfect run, are you going to switch up what you're going to do? Or when you go into a final, are you pretty much, you know your run, and you're competing against you?
I know my run, and I know I'm pretty much competing against me. But it was an interesting shift in Montpellier this year.
Yeah.
Because it was just semifinals. I mean, I had a feeling we weren't going to ride finals the next day because of the rain.
Yeah.
But like, I had a solid first run, and then Logan upped his second run, and he was before me, and I was like, oh, wow. I guess I want to throw some new stuff.
Let's treat this like a final.
Yeah. I was just like, oh, I guess I can have my game a little. But it really depends on my first run. Like, if I could build off of that, or if it was just like everything I had planned. And no, truthfully, I guess it just depends if I'm comfortable with the run I just put down.
Yeah. Did you win Montpellier?
I did.
Hell yeah. How weird is it that seems so long ago and I honestly couldn't remember. What was podium? Was Logan second?
Logan second.
That's right, because it was Logan's first event back since he was hurt. Okay, yeah. And I remember talking to him being like, are you psyched? And he was like, yeah, I got second and I've been hurt. And I was like, okay, cool. Because I'm used to him being pissed about not winning.
Right.
But what do you think of Logan?
I love him.
Do you like riding with him?
Yeah, man. He's the boss.
He works his ass off.
He works his ass off.
He and you both do a lot of similar things, I think.
Yeah, we both put the work in, and I feel like it kind of shows.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, for him, but no, I mean, it sucks that he's not here in Chengdu with us, like, truthfully.
Yeah.
But I used it, I'm, like, trying to use it as, like, because, like, he's been such an inspiration to my riding, just for how much work he puts in and the results he gets, and just coming off of injury. I was like, man, I think it'd be kind of cool, like, if I were to do well, it'd be, like, kind of inspiring to him, in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, no, there's, like, you can come back and you can still do well. I mean, he's already proved that as well. But yeah, I mean, it's still an injury.
It sounds to me like, I could be wrong, but I think what I heard is it's not that gnarly of an injury. Like, he's off like a couple weeks.
Yeah, he told me there's some serious ligament damage.
Okay. I can't remember who was telling me that yesterday, but they probably didn't know what they were talking about.
He's got, I mean, he has to be in a boot for 3 weeks and then just goes from there.
Yeah.
But if he were to, the doctor was like, you could probably ride right now. But if you did, your ankle would never be the same again.
Oh, sounds like a good time to take some time off.
Yeah. So it's just like, I mean, injuries are no joke. Like, there's so many levels to it.
Yeah. Was this one you just went through the worst one you've dealt with?
Yeah. As far as, like, needing like, first time ever having surgery.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I have 2 titanium plates with 12 screws in it.
Is it the same thing that happened to Logan earlier this year?
Yeah.
Very similar?
Pretty similar.
Does he have two plates as well?
I'm not sure, honestly.
That's pretty... I don't know if funny is the right word, but...
Yeah, it's kind of silly. We both shattered the shit out of our collarbones.
Yeah. Wasn't his on a resi?
It was. Dude, resis?
I know.
I get more hurt in the foam pit than I do on anything else.
Yeah.
Truthfully.
Don't ride the foam pit then.
I try. Some stuff.
I really want you to do a... you call them 5 flares or cork 9s? What do you call those?
Whatever they look like to someone.
I want you
5 flares.
I want you to do one of those no-handed.
I want to.
You mess with that at all?
I haven't. I honestly haven't tried it. I don't know why. Not in foam or...
Today's the day.
Today!
All right, in this Chinese course.
Yeah, I think there's a good spot. I'll send it. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Over the spine to fakie. Did you see that dude 900 to spine?
That was badass.
Yeah.
That was gnar.
Yeah, man. Like, that was really cool. I've been waiting for somebody to do that for a long time.
I thought Kevin Porter did it.
I don't think so. Did he?
I don't know.
You should know. I don't know why you should know and I shouldn't, but I just feel like you should know.
I feel like we both should know.
I know.
But either way, it was badass.
Yeah. How it's crazy that there's a chance Kevin Porter did that 10 years ago. Longer.
Yeah.
And people still don't know. Let's talk about that time you rode for a scooter company.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Mad Gear Action Sports.
How did that happen? That was weird. Because you were kind of... Was that your first sponsor?
That was my first, like, paying sponsor, travel budget type of sponsor.
Okay.
Because my first real sponsor was through you guys, Vital BMX, through Vital BMX with the GT Project video contest.
Were you on that?
Yeah, I won. I was one of the riders that picked to be on GT for 2008 or something.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
And it was like a short-lived thing. They sent you 5 t-shirts and a frame. Put you on the site. It's kind of sick.
Yeah, I mean, if that's where you're at and you're riding, you know, that's...
It was cool. Yeah. But that was like the first real sponsor. Then
How was the Mad Gear thing? Was that through James Foster?
Foster and Colton Satterfield.
Okay.
I mean, Foster helped because I met those dudes at 2012 Dew Tour after
San Francisco or
San Francisco.
Okay, I remember talking to those guys there.
Yeah, after I won the free flow thing, they came up to me. They were really excited, wanted to talk to me.
How would you like a scooter?
Yeah. I mean, it was cool. Like, as weird as it was, I mean, they paid for trips. They paid me a little bit of money. Paid for my bike.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Gave me a bike. All KOG parts. I don't know how that worked, but
I think they were at same ownership or something weird. They had somewhere tied to KHE. But yeah, I remember when I first kind of started watching you ride. I was at that event in San Francisco. I don't remember watching Free Flow, but I remember. I think it was probably that following simple session. You did 3 double whip to whip back. Or is that what it was?
Oh yeah.
You need to do that more.
That's so hard.
That shit's crazy.
Eric makes it look so easy.
I know. But
Russia.
He's tall and Russian, so yeah. I remember seeing you ride there, and I was like, "Oh, this dude seems really good." And people tell me they like him, but he looks like such a meathead, and he's riding this scooter company bike. This guy must suck.
Yeah, from the outside, it's kind of funny.
But
no, it worked. It got friggin' me around some contest results, even though it was like a year.
Did that end, or did you quit?
I think I quit just because they kept saying they would. Towards the end, it just got sketchy. Like, they weren't able to fund the things that they said they were going to fund, even after
one of those where it's like, hey man, I hate to be upfront with you about this, but I'm here because you're paying for trips and shit. I don't have love for Mad Gear.
Right.
Mad Gear.
Well, yeah, they just couldn't do what they said they were going to do. And it wasn't like, it wasn't a brand that I was fully
passionate about.
Yeah. I mean, they helped. Like, I'm very grateful for that. It's like, dude, like, they
fly to that Simple session?
Yeah.
That's why I know who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure I would have figured it out somewhere along the line.
Yeah, but I mean, it really got me to all these competitions, got me some serious experience. Like, what the fuck? And made a little bit of money.
I love to make fun of you about it just because I know it pisses you off, but I would have done the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It was the right move.
I thought it was cool. I mean, it's funny. I mean, it's a funny conversation now.
It is. But when you're that age, and I know you're not a rich kid, when you're coming from, I can wear this shirt and ride this sticker on the bike and go to Estonia and ride, or I can be the cool guy that's too cool for this brand and be at home.
Yeah, exactly. like, why not give it a shot? Who cares? I mean, I don't have to ride for them forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably wouldn't if they came around again right now. I don't know if I would do it again.
But everything's relative. You're at a different place in your life now, and if they wanted to come through and pay you $100,000 a year to do it, would have to talk.
Right.
You know? Like, I don't want to do it. The price has significantly gone up, but if you can offer me something that's going to change my life,
right, that's when it changes. To talk, yeah.
You know? So you were on them, and then Laird Frames after that?
Laird Frames after that, and then Torque came around.
No, but bike, total.
Oh, yeah.
So it was the Mad Gear bike, then
Laird's custom frames, and then Total came back.
How's the Total shit going?
Sweet.
Your frame moving?
I haven't spoke to Remo about it, but I feel like it is. I keep seeing it pop around. And
good.
Kids tagging me and stuff.
Have you seen some in real life yet?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
That's got to be crazy, right? If you're all up to the park and a kid's on your bike.
It's badass, man.
That's, are you really that into coffee?
Honestly, I am.
I don't think I ever really knew that about you.
Not a lot of people do. I mean, I can't really, like, I'm drinking all these coffees.
Because of the Rockstar thing?
Because of Rockstar,
yeah, no, that makes sense. But they make coffee, right?
Yeah, they make a roasted mocha.
That's a weird one where I guess I could see where that'd be, like, potentially conflicted, but it's also, like, it's such a different genre.
Exactly.
Like,
but, I mean, it's still, I just always saw it as the bigger picture of, like, energy drinks are meant to replace it's just a morning thing to get energy, like coffee. Yep. That's what energy drinks came out for.
Man, I love coffee. I love it. A hot cup of coffee in the morning. Same. Where, like, and I'll drink, like, I had a Red Bull at the course yesterday because they were out there. Like, I'll have, like, the BCAAs from EVL sometimes, and, like, they're good, but, like, in the morning, a nice warm cup of coffee,
it's
you know what I mean?
Different
it's
than
like
a Rockstar.
And I think it's the temperature. It's not even the effect, but just, like, it's kind of a ritual.
It's a full-on ritual, yeah.
You know? You can't replace with anything in a can, you know?
The smell and everything, like, yeah. No, yeah, I really love coffee.
And you make it yourself, or do you go in and to a spot? Do you have a coffee shop at home, or what's your...
Yeah, I got a few spots around my place.
Some good shit?
Good shit, yeah.
Next time you're at my place, we'll have to go to a couple. There's a... You've been to my house, right? Where there's, like, the main road with all the food on it right next to it. Yeah. It's like a new roaster right there I've been going to a lot. It's pretty rad.
I'd be down.
It's no Rothrock. But.
See, yeah, I have Rothrock beans in my room.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, no way. That's awesome.
I bring my little pour-over device.
Dude.
I use the hot water kettle in the room.
That's smart. Do you bring a blender when you travel?
No, I thought about it this trip, but I didn't.
I ordered a travel blender off Amazon for this trip, and it showed up like an hour after I got to the airport. Like, it's like a USB charger one, because I was food here just gets a bit gnarly after 2 weeks, so I brought, like, protein powder and peanut butter and stuff, and I'm like, I can just mix this up. Now I'm like, I can't imagine trying to go buy a blender here. Find the blender store, and the guy argue with the price.
Yeah, sit there and negotiate.
But, you know, fun shit. What do you think is next on your prerogative? Any big changes? Anything you want to do?
Win this contest. No,
good.
No, go home, build a fence. I might get a dog when I get home.
Really?
Yeah.
Talk to you about that for a while. Yeah. Is your roommate home a lot?
He is.
And he's on board with...
He wants a dog.
What's your roommate do?
He's a nurse.
Okay, doesn't ride BMX?
No, he doesn't even know. He really doesn't know what
That's probably refreshing.
It's kind of funny.
Going home to that, though, as opposed to going home to...
I've always been curious, like, man, should I be living with people that are, like, action sports driven? Or is it cool that I have, like, this... I'm living with a guy that has a college degree that doesn't really know anything about action sports.
You grew up with a dude or something?
We graduated high school together and everything.
Nice. I mean, I just think driven people... You know what I mean? If somebody's driven and good at what they do and smart, I think that's gonna roll off onto you, and you're gonna apply it to whatever you do.
Right.
But I think different things are different. Like I was in North Carolina a couple weeks ago, and I was at Daniel Dare's house, and Marin was staying there. And I think it's really good that they would have each other because Marin's kind of living there partially,
right.
and and they'd get up every morning and go do like a heavy session,
right?
And then like they'd go to the gym together. But I think it's different because I think then we talk about how you go and eat at a restaurant alone,
right? Yeah, I'm a solo type of guy,
so I think it's always different, But I certainly would find motivation in having somebody else. But I think that's just
what works for other people.
To each their own. I don't think you have a whole lot you need to change.
Thank you.
Other than getting mad at me.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when you get mad at me because I say you won the kitchen contest? You should be proud.
I am proud.
You should.
I did a 360 triple downwhip there.
Did you?
Yeah.
Damn. You did the flare... windshield wiper at a kitchen contest too.
Oh yeah,
I guess that was technically was that a recon contest?
That was a recon, but it's still at the kitchen.
You got a lot of history in that building.
There's a lot of history.
That's a good park, man.
It really is.
It's a shame all the crazy bullshit that surrounds it, but it's a good park.
It's a terrifying park too.
Yeah,
ramps are no joke.
Hannah was talking about moving to North Carolina and riding Dare's place.
Really?
I was like, man, I feel like the reason you're so good is because you ride those giant ramps.
Yeah.
But I think, you deal with when it's home and family owns it. And I think there's a lot of bullshit that goes along with it. There's a lot of
stuff going on over there.
So I completely understand why I should say that. But man, that's not bad for a training facility. Here's a hypothetical situation for you. USA Cycling is in outskirts of San Diego. If they built a legitimate training facility out there, a feast course, whatever, and wanted you to, would you consider moving out there?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I've been thinking about it. Not thinking about it, but there's obviously a discussion about like they're putting in and even our coach is asking like, oh, will you guys be willing to move out here or utilize this thing, even come ride?
Like if I'm going to try to get this budget, are you going to fucking be here?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's part of like, I mean, I think it'd be sick because he mentioned like you would have free housing at the center.
Okay.
And if I were to rent my house out now and just live
businessman shit,
and then just live out in California for free,
yeah,
that'd be badass.
Well, especially having all the doctors and trainers and stuff there too.
Yeah, there's much more resources,
and there's other shit to ride around there too. It wouldn't be like I'm just here. Like if it was in Colorado Springs, it might be like there's the outdoor park there, and Denver's not far. But like in San Diego, if that's from where that training facility is,
you have everything
within a 40-mile radius. You got Anderson's getting his backyard redone. You know that?
I didn't know that.
Big Rockstar thing.
Hell yeah.
Maybe I'm not supposed to talk about that.
He did mention a little bit.
Claremont Park, Ocean Beach Park. There's that new Linda Vista Park, that big one with the full
I like that one.
Like, if you were out there, imagine you had the training facility, but to break the monotony, a couple times a week, get out and ride some of this other shit, like... Also got some trails not too far. Head down to FOD,
Yeah, I feel like that would be the move if it were to happen.
I hope it does happen. I think it could be a really, really, really good thing for everybody involved.
Right.
So many people are local. I think if they do something like that, they can... I think what they do with some of the racetrack there and some other things is they'll rent it out to other countries. Like, and they'll bring people out and train on it. And it's kind of a way to make the cost make sense.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's the hard part about San Diego. Just that square of land it's going to be on versus if it was in Colorado Springs, it's probably up the price by like 15 times.
Or Cleveland, Ohio would be like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make a
that's a big plus of Cleveland. you can afford to live nice there.
Yeah.
To be buying that house in San Diego, you'd be making a lot more money.
Right.
Gift and a curse. But is Rob Armour still alive?
He is.
You ever see him?
I saw him a couple weeks ago.
Is he just not riding?
He rides a little bit. I mean,
every once in a while he'll post a clip that's fucking crazy.
Insane.
Like a recent clip.
That's
like,
fucked
dude,
up. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he could just... I mean, even like 2 weeks ago, he's like, shit, I just realized I haven't ridden in like 2 months. I'm like, what? And like, I was injured for 2 months and couldn't ride, and he was just... But I mean, he just has a job, and he's
What's
really...
he do?
I don't know. I really don't.
Did you kind of come up riding with him? Was that kind of your dude to push you for a while?
Yeah, for sure. Him and Bob Mead.
Bob fucking Mead. Is he still around?
I haven't seen or heard of him in a long time, but yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Seemed to be a bit of a habitual bridge burner, right?
I have no idea.
Yeah. I just hear stories. I've actually never met him. I've always just been a fan. But every time maybe it was just talking to him. Did him and Rob have beef?
Yeah.
Maybe it was Rob telling me all that. There was kind of
a lot of beef.
Yeah. Cleveland. What are you going to do? Sit there and fight people and stuff. But, is this your last trip of the year?
Riding wise?
You going on vacation?
Well, you know Tom Morris, right?
Yeah.
My buddy.
Tom's my dude.
He's running a marathon in Hawaii in December.
Nice.
And I was like, well, I'll come out and support you because United had like a Hawaii deal.
Nice.
Like right when he was like talking about it, I was like, fuck it, I'll just book a ticket.
What part of Hawaii?
Honolulu.
Nice.
So he's running the Honolulu marathon. And I was talking to my trainer because, I ran 15 miles last year.
Okay.
And it felt fine. And I think I could run the marathon too with Tom. So
has he been training for it though? So is he going to smoke you if you don't get on your shit?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Really,
I'm guessing you're in better physical shape than Tom.
Yeah, but I'm not in running shape.
True.
Like marathon shape.
True.
It's a different game. But I want to try it.
So you're going to send it?
I think so.
Damn.
So that's my next trip. The first week of December.
I think Nyquist did a marathon in Hawaii.
Really?
I think it was the Big Island though. I don't think it was on Honolulu.
Huh.
Is that your first time in Hawaii?
Yeah, I haven't been there.
You guys staying and doing fun shit too, though? Like,
yeah, it'll be like a 6-day trip.
Nice.
I'm not sure what we'll do, but...
Yeah, I remember... I always like Hawaii because I haven't been to Honolulu for a long time, but going to Maui and going to Kauai somewhat recently, I'd go there being like, fuck yeah, going on vacation, gonna party, and then like... can't find anywhere to get drunk and go to bed at 8 p.m. and it's
really?
Rehab. It's fantastic.
Holy crap.
Do hikes and shit, I think Honolulu's a bit different. There's some more
upbeat or whatever.
Yeah, you can find some grimy parties if you want, but I don't think that's really what you're into.
Yeah. Who knows?
When is that?
First week of December.
Nice.
So
get out of the cold.
Yeah. It'd be perfect timing for everything.
Damn, that's pretty cool.
So who knows?
First marathon?
First marathon.
How good would it be if you went and did horribly and then won the Olympics and everybody's at home like, I just beat that guy in a marathon. He's supposed to be some world-class athlete. I just beat that dude's ass.
That'd be hilarious.
That's pretty cool. I guess we'll wrap things up here. I know you got to practice to get to. Who is your favorite BMX rider of all time?
Of all time?
Of all time.
Jamie Bestwick.
Yeah?
Honestly.
Why? Would you be saying that if you didn't know him personally?
No.
Because a big part of Jamie is knowing him. You know what I mean?
No, like even like 2012 when I first was able to go to Woodward, like as a visiting pro or whatever. Or 2013, I don't know. I couldn't drop in while he was in the building. I was just sitting there like so damn nervous to even say a word to him. I'm not even kidding. Like I felt so starstruck all the time.
Does he know that?
I feel like I've told him, but he might not. But no, just a badass dude that beat my other all-time favorite rider, Dave Mira. So it's just like he's just been killing the game. Like I feel like he's just worked hard. He works his ass off.
He always thinks you're trying to bang his wife.
I know. I don't know what that is. Well, because I'm a weird yoga guy, and his wife's a yoga instructor
and an attractive older lady.
Yeah, her and I.
She's badass. She's gnarly.
She's badass, dude. But yeah, we get lost in conversations for a while, or every time I talk to her.
Go next door and have some coffee, and then so you're just totally like pissed on Jamie's life. You go to his coffee shop, drink coffee, then go to his yoga studio next door and hang out with his wife.
Oh yeah,
and then you claim he's your favorite.
Yeah, it must be a subconscious thing.
Well, I mean, if you're going to try to be somebody else, that's a pretty damn good guy to try to be.
Yeah, I guess so.
You ever kick around living at Woodward full time, or are you content being where you're at?
I'm really content where I'm at, but even I don't know. I love Woodward.
I know,
it's so peaceful there. But I want to know, like, I've always been curious, like, would it be the same of living there for longer? Because the longest I've stayed there was like maybe 10 days.
Okay.
So I don't know what it's like living there after a month or
Do you start losing your mind?
Yeah, because a lot of people say, like, you don't want to live there.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, but I feel like there's so much shit around there that, like, I feel like people the people that do live at camp, they get stuck at camp and they don't really let themselves explore around down to State College.
Well, I almost, whenever I go to Woodward, I go to Woodward. I fly to State College, I rent a car, I drive to Woodward. I didn't realize Cleveland's 4 hours away. It sounds like it could almost be a home base, and you got a lot of things that aren't that far.
Yeah, exactly.
I think a lot of people aren't that motivated.
Right.
I've driven from Philly to there, or I flew to Philly once and drove to camp. That's not far at all. You know?
There's a lot of... I mean, yeah, you're in the middle of Amish land in the middle of nowhere.
But that's kind of good.
Yeah, it really is.
In a sense, like, if you're just trying to go out there and be the best bike rider you can be.
Yeah, you're only focused on riding. And then then there's still plenty of other stuff to keep you occupied when you can't ride. That could be another
move, man. Go live at Woodward and rent that house out.
That was honestly another thing that I was like, oh, I could do that too.
I don't know, man. Like, I think it could be good for Woodward too, because I always think, like, when I was growing up, and I'm a couple years older than you, but like, even when it was like Dares and Spinner and Anthony Napolitan and those guys lived there, it's like, oh, it seems like so cool to go because the kids would go. And
that was the draw, because like that's where I went. I went there when I was 15.
You went as a camper?
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
I only got to go 1 week, but that was the whole pool. Like, oh, I know I'm going to see all my favorite pro riders there.
Yeah.
And I know all these guys are there training for Dude Tour. Like, it was like a huge...
Yeah.
Like, going there in the summertime.
You're going to go see a trick that you're going to see for real later. Like, you're kind of getting a sneak preview.
It's insane. It was like a huge... It was just cool, you know?
Yeah.
It was the place to be.
Yeah. No, I think they could benefit a lot from that. I mean, there's not... Minus Jamie, who's there sometimes on the vert ramp, solo sessions. Like, there's not a whole lot of... guys that I think are really dragging people in.
I know. I'm not sure why.
There's good riders there.
Right.
A lot of those kids that live there, badass.
They're so good.
But kind of stepping it up, too. A lot of them rode those Vans events this year, and a couple of them really stood out as
they were really good, man.
Total badasses. Wait, you going to give those Vans events a shot? Any desire to mess with that? I've talked to you about that before a little bit.
I really want to. I wanted to this year, but I don't know why I didn't. I mean, I couldn't have competed in Malaga anyway, but that was the goal. I wanted to go there.
That's the sexiest one.
It seems so sick.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a couple different ones next year.
Really?
I think Brazil.
Really?
And I think I heard maybe something in Canada.
Huh.
I don't know, but I think I don't think Mexico's happening, or it's going to be different. That Mexico part's kind of rough.
Is it? I heard a lot of crazy
transitions
things.
Aren't that great. Like, it's
Mexico. No, I was kidding. Sorry, Mexico.
Guadalajara's cool. Have you been there?
I've only driven through it. Like, flew in and then driven to wherever the...
One of those weird dirt jump contests?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Guadalajara's really cool. It's just that park is a little ways out of the city, and most of the riders don't like it that much. And I think it's one of those things where you do events at the same parks 2 years in a row. It's too often.
Right.
We ran into that, I felt like, when we were doing the Game of Bike contests, where if you do an event a year later at the same park with a bunch of the same guys, it just kind of looks like the same event. You always have to do it every other year and switch it up and stuff, you know? Or,
I remember you mentioning that when we did it at Claremont.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was tough. Tough trying to just keep it fresh, you know, even though it was like Woodward's so easy, so nice, but it's just like, well, here's another contest that involves you and Logan Martin at Woodward West.
Right.
You know? But anyway, well, Nick, I guess I'll let you go practice and try to win this shit. Congratulations on beating this recovery.
Thank you.
And regardless of what you think, I'm not trying to insult you when I talk about you winning the kitchen contest.
Well, thank you, Kyle. That's just my own personal things I got to break through.
What's the biggest win of your career? What do you feel like? What's your highlight right now?
Kitchen contest.
You won this event last year, the Feast in China last year. That was a big one. Was that your first Feast win?
It was my first Feast win.
That seemed like a big one for you.
That one, maybe Montpellier.
Yeah. I think Montpellier seems weird because finals didn't happen, and it was kind of like that. Like this one, like,
Chengdu,
everybody was there. Everybody rode well. Good. Like, and you,
For sure.
I feel like you've gotten a little bit screwed at a couple of them.
Yeah.
But
there's always some injustice, if you will.
I also don't know what I'm talking about, so fuck it. Nick Bruce, future Olympic gold medalist. Did you say you guarantee that?
Can't guarantee anything. Can't guarantee I'm going to eat lunch this morning. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I can guarantee anything.
That sounds kind of offensive.
Just kidding.
Kind of sexy. All right, Nick. Thanks, buddy. Anything you want to add?
No, I love you, Kyle Carson. Thank you.
You promise you love me even though you're mad at me all the time?
I'm never mad. Yes, I promise.
Okay, good. Thanks, Nick. You're a wonderful man. All right, that does it for this week. Big thank you to Nick Bruce for coming by the official Chinese studio. Be sure that you're following Nick on Instagram at Nick_Bruce. And until next week, just remember, it doesn't count if you don't pull the rollback. Goodbye.